The dumb content strategy that made us thousands for me and my clients. In this video, I'm going to break down how you can actually record an entire campaign for a month and for the entire year even, and grow your business exponentially and have those sales that you want. And this video was inspired by an e-commerce video, but I thought why not make an info version of it, because it applies to almost anything when you're trying to sell a product or service or anything else. Now, I'm going to break this down the most simplest way possible and with actionables so that you guys can just, watch this video and just go ahead and straight away do it. Now, please pay attention, get your notepads up. Don't eat if you're eating right now. It's not one of those eating videos, but sit there and listen and we're going to dive into it. Now, it doesn't matter what platform you're using. It could be YouTube, it could be TikTok, it could be IG, whatever you're using, right? All these things, they have a plan. Like when I post, there's a plan, right? And it all comes down to actually getting the sale, which is conversion. But conversion is not going to happen by you just posting randomly or telling people to buy from you. There is a whole strategy which you have to use from head to toe to actually get there. I'm going to break it down in the context of a month, okay? So in a month, we have 30 days. Now, how do you sell? A lot of people think they can sell the entire month, or they can't sell the entire month, or they don't know how to basically make their content seem natural but also convert. So either you're on one side, which is the conversion side, right, where people are converting, doing stuff, but there's a loss here as well, where people think you're too salesy, or you don't have the brand connection and the brand trust, which happens with similar brands, or you have a lot of trust, right, and people just don't want to buy from you because you don't tell them to. So you're in two camps. So I'm going to tell you how you can balance these and actually make money from it, like I did, close to $50,000, and how you can do the same, right? Now, even though I don't have many followers, even though I don't have much audiences, the content that I put out and the quality of content that we focus on is entirely based around the campaigns that we built around it. What we're going to do, how we're going to make this video work. Now, out of this calendar, there are 3 types of content which you're going to make, which is going to be how to sell, how to build authority, and how to create a story around. These are the 3 biggest ones which you're going to focus on, and this is more than enough to get you to even millions a month. Now, how do you sell? Now, you probably have seen Alex Hormozi did his entire book launch, right? He almost streamed for like hours on end, which is crazy. But do you think he sold the book for the entire time? Do you think he sat there and was just like, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book, I'm about to launch, about to launch, about to launch? Do you think he sat there and, did all that? No. What he actually did was post valuable content that people actually wanted to see and then build around the factor of the book, right? When he's talking about the book, is going to talk about, I'm going to launch another one. He's sneaking all this in, right? But what he's actually doing is he's planning and leading up to the point to sell his book and do 100 million in I think 2 or 3 days. But the sales content and the main purpose of sales content is that you focus on it. That is your main focus while you're filling out these days in these calendars, right? But it's not what you do the most. It's what people, when I tell my clients even, hey, focus on generating more sales, focus on sales content. They think they have to do a CTA. They think they have to look around and build some sort of like crazy offer, do an offer launch, do this. But no, that's not the part that I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is you plan everything together. You lead everything together to that sale, to that when you drop a CTA, when you drop an offer, when you drop. This is what you're leading up to. So a lot of times what will happen is that when I tell my clients, or even you'll try to, break this pattern of these days. But you have to be intentional. Okay, this time I'm going to build trust. I'm going to build curiosity with this content. I'm going to give value in this one. And you slowly educate your audience on why are you selling in the first place. Because what's the reason? Why should I even buy into this? If you don't explain and give them the knowledge to actually know that your product is worth something, why would they buy? A lot of the people seem to think that, hey, if I've just, that's why lifestyle marketing is not working anymore. You probably see people buying cars and that entire thing is just falling off. Why is that? Because people have no logic behind it. So when people are buying, they have 2 emotions in their hand. First is the logical and then the emotional. Now, you might spark emotions through talking about your personal story, something emotional, using emotional music. And then if you have something later on to sell them to, they need logic behind that. What is the reason? Why should I buy into this, whatever this person is saying? So you do that via your content planning. So everything leads up. All the work that Alex Hormozi did on his YouTube channel was like, hey, I'm not going to cash out on like a weekly basis or even a monthly basis. I'm going to work for decades and years upon, right? I'm going to work for like 5 years, give people insane amounts of value so that I can make $100 million in a day. Now, could he have done that, breaking it down in years? Yeah. But what he did was he pressurized it so much so that he could create an event, so that he could create an entire atmosphere where people would actually buy. Oh, why should I buy the book? Because Alex Amos is giving me so much value. He's such a smart guy. He knows about business, which that leads to my second point, which is what? How to build authority. Now, authority is pretty simple. A lot of people misconstrue this in a lot of ways, where they talk about different sort of like ways to do it. You show people lives. Like, it's pretty simple. What you do is you put out edu educational content that creates value, and that value creates usefulness, and which just betters the trust. That's it. That's how you build authority. So what you do is that you educate the people or help them, right, in a listicle way. Now, what do I mean by listicle? Back in the day, if you're old enough watching this video, or even right now, you probably have 10 ways to make money, right? 10 ways to make money online, or whatever you think of that, right? So you don't actually sit there and make like top 10 ways to do this. What you do other than that is keep that in your mind. You don't show this to your clients. You don't show this to the people. What you do is that you show it in there, but you keep this in your mind. Now, what do I mean in a listicle way? You talk about the steps that it will take for someone to understand the value and the usefulness and why you are the best in the market to buy from you. If you can tick all these boxes, and if you have the right ratio, which is 10-1, which is you give 10 pieces of quality content or value content or educational content, and then you do one CTA. Because what happens is that when the person knows that, why are you selling? Why should I listen to you? Right? You're giving value, you're helping them. And in the end, you say, hey, please buy from me. They'll be like, okay, my logic is hitting right now, the 7th day, right? But all these logic points are going to tick off. So what's going to happen is that the logic and emotion both are going to go on in their brain, and they're going to buy from you. That's how you convert people, right? Now, the last and the most important point, which makes you stand out, and how do you stop competitors from copying you or even using the same sort of content or whatever it is by telling a story. Now, the powerful part, and I've made an entire video on it if you haven't watched it, the most powerful part about a story is that you can attach the story to the educational and the sales content. It is a medium. It is not a way of, it's not something you make content about. It's how you tell your stories. So let me give you an example, right? Let's say I wanted to give out my clients $10,000, but this got in the way, right? And then I wanted to make this YouTube video so that I can get the money to give them this. But that took me a lot of time and effort. So what I did is that I hopped on all my clients and told them to promote my YouTube so that they can all get paid. Now, this was on top of my head, this was on top of the roof. Maybe it made some sense, right? But the point is that I told a story, right? The way I got about this video is that I saw some sort of guy do a headstand push-up in the middle of the road, and then he was like, then he came up to me, then some ninja kung fu, and then I thought, hey, let me make this video when he hit my head. So how can a competitor copy you? And if they do, they'll get caught out. Right? If you just give value without the story, people can copy you pretty easily because they can say the same words and the people will be like, yeah, like I did before, right? When people give out motivational content, the reason why it doesn't really work is because it doesn't really have a story. The reason why people listen to David Goggins and not a 16-year-old is because of the story. David has a story, a 16-year-old doesn't. And that is the point that I'm trying to make, right? And this most simple format is intent, obstacle, and resolution. So let me give you an example. We want to give you X, Y, and Z, right? But EDF got in the way. So we had to sacrifice A, B, C, D to give you X, Y, Z. It is the most simplest way to tell a story. Now here we can also go deep dive in here with this diagram, which is you do the conflict, right? You have this beginning, which is you set up all the characters. What is actually happening? What are we trying to do here? Then you have the conflict. Then the conflict has a climax, like the raising actions going up. And then everything settles down and there's a resolution. This is how you tell. So it's super simple, but it's extremely hard to do. But if you can do this, it's the biggest cheat code in the game. It's literally like putting cheat codes in GTA. It's so much easier because first of all, people can't copy you. You will stand out in the market and people will be with you like cult. That's how you build a cult. The reason why people love Playboy Carti more than anyone else is because he has a cult and people are like, whoa, this guy is so different. He's being himself. He was clowned at first, if most of you guys know about it. If you are like, you probably all are that old enough. Well, the point I'm trying to make here is that if you have stories, you can stand out and create your own little pool and just basically convert all the educational content and sales content with the medium of a story. Now, this all leads to one thing, and how do you glue this all up and actually make it work? Which is just do it. Just do it over and over again. You'll get better month after month, week after week, day after day, and then slowly and gradually you will be able to glue all this together with relevance. What is important, or is what do your audience want, and what do they want to have, and this will lead to you winning. It's pretty simple. So I'll see you in the next one.